Hi everybody. I wanted to make a really quick video. I want to go over a few things really fast because I don't know if the internet will stay up. So do know that one, I have nobody from the Q team that talks to me. I don't have anybody from the Trump administration that talks to me. Everything that I get comes from the higher power. And I have just been about right on everything that I've told y'all. When I've given y'all a date, something significant has happened. I've been posting about the 12th. I steer Hill 12th. So, there's a cat behind the laptop trying to get in a box. I've got some stuff that I'm going to burn, and the cats just want to get in that box. You know, cats and boxes, so I apologize. So the 12th still is important. I don't know what's going to happen on the 12th. So let me just clear that up. I don't know. But I do know that I'm hearing the 12th. I'm also hearing things right now as I'm talking. So I may space out. I may jump from one subject to another. Do know that the things rush into my head. So I was compelled to make this video. So I'm going to try to do the best I can. And like I said, just know if I kind of just stop and stare, I'm hearing something and I need to say it. All right. I've looked on a couple of different sites and I am hearing, if I'm saying the word right, the, where Trump has signed, where the military is in control. That is a law that is in there, that when things aren't doing right, that the military can come in. So why would Trump do that? Let's answer that really quick. Everything that Trump presented, all the evidence that all the attorneys presented, courts would not hear it. All right? This means that they didn't even look at the evidence. All right? We know the evidence was there. We've got affidavits. We've got video evidence. We've got documentation evidence. But no one wanted to look at it. You have to ask yourself why. Okay? Now, they would just turn everything away and say, well, you just don't have enough. We don't want to look at it, whatever. Okay? Then you had where Congress and the Senate were voting on the electors. And Mike Pence did not stand up and say that he wasn't going to accept that we need to have a separate group of people go in and recheck. And from my understanding, that would have been somebody or two people from the Supreme Court. That would have been a couple of members of Congress, a couple of members of Senate, but it didn't happen. All right? So they went through with this vote. Okay? So then again, everything failed. All right? States in question did not stand up and do the right thing. Now, when I say the right thing is, you have to understand the Constitution. How can I explain it? Okay, in the Constitution, there's certain things that have to be done a certain way. Yes, each state has their thing of doing. But when it comes to certain things, they have to go to Congress to change. They just can't do it themselves. I'm trying to do this like at a kindergarten level so you can understand. So, when it comes to changing the way that you're going to run your voter stuff, it has to go through the legislation. And if you don't do that, then that is void. That is, you can't do it. It's not right. It's kind of like if you have a job and they say you clock in 3 minutes before your time and you have to be at your station. And then one day someone says, well, you can clock in 20 minutes and just be at your station at the right time. And you're like, well, when did that happen? And they're saying, you can only do it for this one day. Does that make sense? You know that's not right. Why would you get paid for 20 minutes and you're not going to be at your station till the time that you're scheduled for, but it's okay to clock in 20 minutes early? Okay, something like that. You know it's not right, but you're like, okay, okay, let's do it. But the company did not say that was okay. Just your particular store, just particularly where you work, said you can do it just for this one day. Does that make sense? Kind of follow where I'm going. Okay, that's the same thing. Like these states can't say, well, last minute voters can register to vote up until the day of election. We're going to take people that mailed in their votes. We're going to take it even 2 days after votes have been counted. Just all kinds of weird stuff. And then you can't say, well, it's because of the epidemic. All right. Did it go through the legislation? Did they vote on that? Say your state can do that? No. So technically, it doesn't matter if the governor said it's okay. The governor cannot make that change. He does not have that authorization to do it. It has to go through Congress, the legislation part. They all have to vote on it, and that was not done. Hopefully that kind of breaks that up and helps you understand that. Like I said, if your job, where you work for a big company, but you're in one little store, and the rule is you have to do this, but one day they allow you to do something different, but the company did not say it was okay. It was just your particular store. And you know that's not right, but you're like, okay, I'm going to just do it anyway because they said it was okay. Well, it wasn't okay. So does that help you understand? God, I hope so. Please bear with me on this. All right. So nobody followed the Constitution. All right. And the Constitution is the backbone of our republic. So the Constitution is set out that these things have to be done. And each particular thing has a certain amount of power. And that's to balance everyone out so not one particular part is stronger or has more power than the other. It balances everybody out. This was the way it was written. These people back in those days were very smart, and they wanted to make sure that this country had a strong backbone so no one could take over. Does this make sense? But throughout history and on down the line, people have tried to get more power and become rich and use their power to become richer. And by doing this, they've made it hard for the common folk, people like me and people like you, to survive. They've taxed the heck out of us. They work us to death. They tell us they're our friends and they're all for us and they're here for us, but they're not. Okay? Now, when you get into politics, you have a good heart, let's just say. We're going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. They have a good heart, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to represent the people. I'm going to protect them, and I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to make a change. But then when you get in there, you have all these different things around you that are constantly pushing on you. And they're telling you, no, you can't do that because you've got to go through us. And we're the ones who really make the decisions here. And that's because over the years, Congress has taken some of their power and given it to other people that we do not vote for. Okay? Other little people, they go to, hey, what about this? And there's like no or yay. So they tell Congress how to vote. Does this make sense? I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to be at the basic level to explain this to you. And this is from my studies, okay? This is from me studying the Constitution. So it has gradually taken away the power of Congress. And you would think, no, Jackie, they still have power. No, they don't. They really don't. Because they've gradually given it to other people, other small departments that were hired. They're not voted, and they stay there till they get fired or quit. And these people that are actually making the decisions, we don't get to vote for them, but they still make the decisions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, there's some other things we can go back to, like I talked about after the American Revolution. I think I've talked about that before, how we owed France money and we weren't able to pay them back. France had their French Revolution, and England bought their debt. And this is how some of our tax dollars went to England. Now, there's another thing that happened, and I don't quite know how to explain it, so I'm just going to kind of give you a really brief thing on it. So we've got that part. That's where some of our tax dollars were going. Then, they were going to the Vatican as well. That's because Rome probably never really did fall, if that makes sense. So, this was after the Civil War. From my understanding, this was done during Grant's time when he was president. We were going into bankruptcy, and they needed to make money, so they got with the Rothschilds, and they made a corporation So we were the United States Corporation. And this is where they were doing bonds to make money to get the debt. And then we were going to cash in those bonds, and then we would go back to being the Republic. But the Rothschilds bought all the bonds up. Now, how the flag got in this, I'm not really sure. But anyway, our flag didn't belong to us, more or less, in a way. I'm just trying to be basic here with this. And there was a small window, I want to say it was back in the 90s, there was a small window that England was going to take our flag. And there was a judge that knew about this, and they acted really fast. It was two of them. They acted really fast, and they went in and they got the flag. Now, I'm not talking about they walked up there, pulled the flag off the pole, and took it. They got the flag. And they were tortured, but he didn't give up the right to the flag. And if you notice, another thing, he's trying to tell me, and I say he, it's because the Spirit, is trying to tell me, remember when you saw the gold ruffles around the flag? That was the corporation. We don't have the gold fringe around the flag anymore. So these are some different things that have been going on. All this is going to get explained much better in the second phase. All right. I just kind of want to give you a brief thing of kind of what's going on, where we are, and what's getting ready to happen, and why I believe the internet is going down. My eyes starting to water. That's probably because I've told you before, sometimes I go under spiritual attacks. So that's probably what this is, trying to annoy me. Falling off the ladder was probably a spiritual attack too, I'm sure, because I kept hearing saying, you're going to fall off this ladder. I'm like, no, I'm going to be careful. And then, I fell off the ladder. So yeah, I'm pretty banged up. So anyways, okay. So when he got the flag back, it didn't go to England. And there's a kill switch, so you can't kill this man to take the flag from him. So he still has the flag, and I want to say he is the Postmaster General. And my understanding is he is probably more powerful than the president. But people did not abide by him to go into war, so if you're supposed to go to him. And, of course, they just did what they wanted to do. Now, where this is going to lead us, I'm not really sure. But England does not have the flag, and that is very good. Okay? So, when Trump was running for the president, do you know generals approached President Trump? Now, this is back when he was a businessman. They approached him because, one, he loved the country. Two, he loves the people of the United States. Doesn't matter what the media tells you. This man loves the people of the United States. And I can go back and tell you stories and stories and stories of things that he's done for different people. All right? Trust me, he loves the people. Okay? He's very smart. He's very strong-willed. And if you go back into the Bible, many people that were chosen by God and Jesus to do things were very strong. Okay? Doesn't mean that they were great people. They were born great and their whole life they were wonderful, because God chooses people for whatever reason God chooses people for. All right? I'm not God and I'm not Jesus. So I don't know. I just know that when they choose someone to do something, and I can read the book, they've done exactly what they needed to do. Okay? So you can argue with me all you want. All right? Whenever God chooses someone and God says, this is what I need you to do. Even if it's crazy. Let's say like Noah. How crazy do you think Noah thought that voice was when he heard it say, I need you to build this big ark, and then I want you to get 2 of every animal, and they're going to come to you. Trust me, they're going to come to you, and you're going to put them on this ark, and you're going to put your family on there, and you're going to float around, and you're going to save humanity. You're going to save animals. Do you think that Noah sat there and said, what was I drinking last night? All right? I don't know Noah. I don't know what he really said, but I'm sure at first he thought, what in the world are you talking about? Okay? But what happened? Noah was compelled to build that ark. All right? He knew exactly what he needed to do to build it. And then what happened? 2 of each animal came to Noah. All right? Whether you want to believe this story or not, it's in the Bible. Read it. Okay? Now think, if you were Noah and someone said, Bob, I need you to build this big old ship, and I need you to get everybody in your neighborhood, and I want you to put them on this ship because some water's going to come through, and I'm going to float you out, and then there's going to be land, and then that's where I want you to go. Do you think Bob would not think that's crazy today? Do you not? Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. People back in the day, we don't know how they were talked to. These are stories that have been passed down, and you have to realize these monks that wrote these stories, they got it from people that wrote it down. They got people that were talking, and they did the best they could. And if you think you know what happened back then better than anyone else, then fine, you tell the story. But I'm just giving you brief descriptions of stuff so you can kind of understand. All right? You just, I don't know how to explain it because I hear it. And when you hear these voices, they're loud and they don't leave you alone. You are compelled. You want it to stop, then you do what they tell you to do, okay? So when he says, get on there and start talking, then I'm compelled to do it. And then it gets quiet, all right? Do I mind it? No, I don't, because this is what he needs me to do. And if this is my small part in this new awakening, then I accept it. All right, whatever he's compelling you to do, accept it. Just like Noah made the ark, just like other people did things throughout history, they did it, okay? Do I believe that Trump was compelled to do this? I do. I think that was a big part of his decision when he talked to the generals when they approached him. I think Trump was compelled. I think Trump knew. Look, my eye is just watering. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, my eyes never water. I think Trump was compelled. Now, am I saying Trump is a saint? No, that's not what I'm saying. Please don't take it that I'm saying that. Do I think I'm a saint? No, I'm not. Do I think a lot of people that do good things are saints? No, I think there are a lot of good people in this world. And I think Trump is a very good person. All right? Okay. Now that we've got that clarified. So, they laid out this plan to Trump that has been in the works for an extremely long period of time. And they said, this is the time, and the time is now. Now, if you look at all the things that have been going on, the different moon, the planet shining, the star of Bethlehem, everything had to be done at this time. Now, the vision I've had, and I talk about it all the time, is I saw President Trump raise his hand and be inaugurated. Okay, I saw him raise it twice, which told me he would be the president twice. The third time I saw a hand go up, it was a man. The face was blurred out, but I could see like a salt and pepper kind of dark hair. He's a little bit younger than Trump. All right, this is what I saw. Now, who the person is, I still don't know. I have ideas who the person can be, but I don't know. So I do know that this person is going to continue what Donald J. Trump is doing now. This will be another good person. This will be someone we can trust, someone that we can love, and I think it's going to be someone that everybody is going to love. And I still can't see the face. If I could see the face, I would tell you who it is, and I cannot see the face yet. Do know that the president does not have to be inaugurated where we've been seeing presidents being inaugurated. After Kennedy died, the next one wasn't inaugurated there, okay? President Trump may be inaugurated inside the White House. He may be inaugurated on Air Force One. He may be inaugurated at Camp David, all right? Just know that he will be inaugurated. Again, because we will not be the United States corporation. So when his president, see, it started off in the United States corporation and he ended it. Now we are the United States of America. We're the republic again, like we were supposed to be. So we're resetting back to the original Constitution. Please bear with me. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Okay, we have our flag back. Okay, we've gotten rid of the Rothschilds controlling the central banks. All right, Trump has taken over the Federal Reserve, which was not a government bank. Okay, it was not. It was run by the Rothschilds. All right, so that now is under the Treasury. Okay, so Go back in history, that's happened before, and that's why you'll see that president sometime posted behind Donald J. Trump. He puts out hints. He wants people to understand what is happening. All right. Now, going back to where we are now, everything that he has done is to set us back to the original Constitution, is to get rid of all the evil people. And when I say evil, I mean evil, vile, devil-worshiping, the most disgusting people either. And I've talked about this. When you are possessed by evilness, you get very scaly, dry skin. You're very chapped. You get very old looking. There's some pictures of someone with almost black hands. This is what evil does to you, people. You get all the power that you wanted. You get all the money that you wanted. But you lose your soul. And without your soul, your body dies. Okay, does this make sense? Let's see. He's telling me to talk about like Walking Dead. Okay, so you look at the people that in the Walking Dead, the zombies, okay? And you see how their skin is, how they're just dead and they're decaying, but they're walking around like they're alive. That's kind of like being possessed by evil, all right? You're alive, you're conscious, you're talking, you're eating, you're around people, you're doing things, but this shell is decaying. It's dying. And you have given your spirit, your soul, to the evil entity. All right? So instead of ascending up, you kind of fade down. Does this make sense? Okay. So as you're being pulled down, it's like melting. And you get all these wrinkles and they just look disgusting. All right. This is where they were doing the adrenochrome, when they were drinking the blood. We've talked about that. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. I'm not going to go into a lot in detail about that. Anybody wants me to do that, please private message me and I'll talk to you one-on-one about it. But they would drink that and it would give them a little bit more youth to their skin, a little bit more color, a little bit more energy, made them look younger. But as soon as they stop that and they're not getting it, you're noticing some of these people looking really rough. And I've talked about that before. That's because they're not getting their fountain of youth anymore. Okay? You want the real fountain of youth? God. Okay? The energy source. That's your fountain of youth. Look at me. I'm 50. I'll be 53 in August. Okay? Right now I'm tired because I'm sore. I'm beat up because I fell off a ladder. So I don't look my best. But I don't have wrinkles. I don't. I have really thick hair. I'm healthy for my age. I do have gray hair, and yes, I do have to color my hair. I don't color it a whole lot. But all in all, I'm blessed because I believe in the light, and I accept it as my Savior, and I welcome it in my heart, okay? And because of that, I am vibrant. And that's all I need. I don't need lots of money. I don't need riches. I don't need people worshiping me. I don't need people just saying, oh, Jackie, Jackie, Jackie. I don't need that. I don't want that. What I want to do is I want to communicate to you. But as far as y'all thinking I'm something great, I don't need that. Okay? I've got God. I've got God. And my eye is just watering so bad. I want to cry. It's watering so bad. It's driving me crazy. It's like it doesn't want me to talk to you. Okay, does that make sense? So when you see people that are really vibrant and young, and you go, God, what's your secret? Do you do Botox? What do you do? You're going to find that usually these people are very spiritual. They're very happy. And that's the secret. That's the secret, okay? That's the secret to beautiful skin, to a beautiful life, okay? So I don't need all that other stuff. God gives me everything I need, all right? If I need $5, I say, God, I need $5. I got to put some gas in my car. And for some miracle, I'll find $5. Either I'll find it or someone will give me $5, okay? That's how it is. Miracles happen every day, so quit thinking they don't. They do. You've just been conditioned to think they don't. Okay, so now we're getting back to Trump, all right? So you're seeing all these people looking really disgusting because Trump has stopped the adrenochrome, okay? I'm also hearing that in some of the adrenochrome that these people were using, they put in the COVID-19. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there so you could hear that. So if you want to do your research to see if it really happened, this kind of gives you a point to look at. This is why some of these people have gotten sick. Do you remember I told you before, a lot of these people are already dead, and this is why now you're hearing about them dying, like the Pope. The Pope has been dead for a year, okay, people? He's been dead. It has to come out now. We're starting to see some cities with blackouts all over the world. This is going to continue, okay? Now, will your city have a blackout? I don't know. But what I do know is that there were indictments, so many indictments in so many different states. So it doesn't mean every city. So I think every state may have a blackout somewhere during this time before the 20th. And that may be because of them going in and arresting people. Now, I did ask for a vision. I said, please show me what is going on. And the only thing I was allowed to see was military. I want to say they were Marines. I've never been in the military, so I don't know. But they were in tan, like a tan outfit. Of course, they had the hats on and something black, and I could see the guns, and I could see them kicking in a door. So that told me that the military is going in and arresting, okay? Now, whether that's the Marines or the Army or whomever, I don't know, okay? I'm just telling you what I saw. I did put a post out there to know that you're going to start seeing more military action. You know you will. You're going to see helicopters. You're probably going to see some convoys of their trucks. You're probably going to see them walking around. And you're probably going to hear very soon, stay indoors. Do not panic. That is because everything else has failed. And our military now is our last hope. So, with Nasara Gassara, everybody has to step down because there has to be another election within 120 days. You can look up Nasara Gassara. Santa Surfing has plenty of videos on Nasara Gassara. Please listen to her videos about Nasara Gassara. She explains it very well. She has an angel anon that tells her things, and this is how she's so good at what she does, all right? Yes, she's a little bubbly and happy, and God love her, all right? You don't like that? I'm so sorry, but she is. She's a wonderful person. She has a very good heart. But she explains Nasara Gassara to me the best. So understand that in 120 days, when the military takes over, there will be another election. So in order for that to happen, Donald Trump pardoned General Flynn. And General Flynn is now over the military. And yes, General Flynn is a good guy, and we can trust him. He loves this country, and he loves you. All right? Everything General Flynn has done has been for you and your freedom. All right? So General Flynn will be making all the calls. Donald Trump will be inaugurated again as our president. All right? But the military has to go in and get all the bad people. Okay? Now, when you had that on the 6th, where you had all the people get together, that was to give all of Congress and the Senate the opportunity to do the right thing. Now, I've already told you Mike Pence has been executed. And you say, why has Mike Pence been executed? All right. Do you remember in the news, and I'll have to look it up and repost it, there was a missile, and they claimed that it misfired. And I remember hearing about it. But what had happened was, it was Mike Pence and Paul Ryan. And Paul Ryan used to be the Speaker of the House, okay? They got together, and they wanted to get rid of the president. So Mike Pence could become president, and then Paul Ryan could become vice president. And this cat is wanting to get on me, so let me move her back over there. Thank you, Patsy. So they fired a missile because they knew where Air Force One was going. But at the last minute, the plane turned. So when the missile went up, instead of colliding with Air Force One, it didn't hit anything because the plane turned. Whatever way it went, it turned. I'm choking. Ooh. Goodness gracious, I hate when they do that. Dark forces, they're not fun. They're not fun. And I'm trying, I have my obsidian on. I do have the house with obsidian. I have lots of my crystals around. So I'm protected, and if this is how they do it, then this is just how they do it, making my eye water, making me choke, and I do apologize. Anybody who's been under a spiritual attack will understand what I'm talking about. They don't want me to get this out, and I have to. So I'm going to do the best I can. So if I cough, cry, hopefully not faint, no, I'm okay. All right, I'm okay. I'm protected. God has got this. God's with me. All right. So it was found out that it was Mike Pence and Paul Ryan. So they were arrested. The last that I read, Mike Pence was executed. Now, when you go through the military tribunes, which I've talked about this before, it's different than our justice system. All right. Remember when you had, when was the last time military tribune? Anyway, for treason, it usually goes to your military tribune. You don't get another trial. You don't get to file a mistrial. You don't get to appeal. You don't sit in a jail cell for 20 years and then get out on a technicality. If you're tried by the military and they say you're guilty and your sentence is death by hanging, by firing range, by lethal injection, by whatever, that is what you're going to get. And it is swift and it is quick. So do know that these people are not waiting around for their executions. These things are taken care of very quickly. So I do believe that Mike Pence was already executed. By what, I'm not sure. I do know Clinton chose the firing range and he faced his back to them like a coward. Now, do you remember that Donald Trump, because this want me to tell you about his executive orders and stuff. Remember, he brought back the firing range as a form of execution. Now, a lot of you don't pay attention to when Trump does this stuff. You need to go back. All of you need to go back and look at this. All right? He brought back the firing range because this is a form of execution that has been used already. Okay? A lot of this stuff that is happening has already happened. Okay? We're playing catch up to what's already happened. This is a movie. All right? It is every part of a movie that you get. It's a love story, it's a horror story, it's a drama, it's a thriller, it's a comedy. It's all of it all wrapped up into one, and it is a roller coaster of a ride. And some of us are getting sick of the roller coaster. I just want it to be over because I want to go to phase 2. Because phase 2 it's going to be very interesting, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of information, and I'm going to help you get through phase 2 as much as I've been able to help you get through phase 1. There will be a phase 3, I do believe, and I'm going to help you through that as well. So just hang in there, guys. Everything's going to be okay. All right, so the person that is being Mike Pence is not the Mike Pence. So we already knew that Mike Pence wasn't going to do the right thing because Mike Pence is a bad guy. So why would someone playing Mike Pence or a clone do something right? All right, he had to do the wrong thing because he has to be executed, which he's already been executed. Do you see where I'm going? Okay, so just follow me on that. I know that sounds crazy. It really does, and my finger hurts. That's why I keep rubbing it. It locks up at night and it does this. What? I don't know. I'm like sleeping. I wake up and I can't move my finger. So it hurts right here. So that's what I'm rubbing because it starts to hurt. I have no idea what that is. It's like crazy. The craziest shit. So Mike Pence has already been executed. So this is why Mike Pence didn't do the right thing. This is why everybody knew Mike Pence wasn't going to do the right thing because that's not the real Mike Pence. Just like that's not the real Joe Biden up there. All right. So Mike Pence will be executed. Now, whether or not we're going to see his execution, I don't know. I do know that we will hear some of the confessions when people were arrested, and they're talking about some of this stuff. Do you know that George Bush did sing? When his son was arrested, he was shown, I believe, the cowboy hat, is from what I heard. I can't remember where I heard it from. And that's how he knew his father was dead. And then he sung. The Bushes were part of the 9/11. Okay? How they did it, that will come out on its own. But just know that the Bushes were behind it. And anything the Bushes are behind, know the Clintons are right there with them. Now, anybody who's been following me for a long time knows that when I started going through the Barry Sanders stuff, this is how I got into the rabbit hole. I started there. It was like a 4-part series thing I watched, and I can't find the original series I watched because it was excellent. All right, it broke down everything. It wasn't about, how can I put it? It wasn't about what was going on now, but it was enough information to lead me to other things. But it did explain to me how the Bushes and the Clintons got together. And it had to do with the CIA, and it had to do with drugs. All right? We know that Papa Bush was a very evil person. All right? He was chose to be Ronald Reagan's vice president for a reason. They controlled Ronald Reagan. Now, whether Ronald Reagan was a bad guy or not, I'm not sure. I'm not picking up anything on that. But I do know that he was controlled. He was told to do certain things. And we do know at the end of his presidency that he did have, I want to say Alzheimer's. And that's why Nancy Reagan was doing a lot of the stuff. I don't think in his heart he was a bad guy. But I think that Bush was more or less in control of a lot of things. So let's just put it that way. And that's as much as I know about that. So I'm not going to try to speculate or put things out there because I can't clarify. Because when did I tell you? I do not have any angel anons that reach out to me, that text me on my phone, get a hold of me on Facebook or my email account or anything like that. I do it all from what I hear. Okay? So I don't know. So I don't have an answer for that if Ronald Reagan was a very bad guy. I do know that Kathy O'Brien has written a book and that I would recommend everybody read it. I've got mine ordered. It should be coming in, and I will read chapters, and then I'll get on here and explain chapters because I want people to understand what happened then, because you have to understand what happened yesterday to understand what's going on today. Okay, so the Clintons getting into the presidency was part of a favor because they worked with Bush, okay? So just because one was a Republican, one was a Democrat, does not mean anything. Bad people are everywhere, okay? Let's just put it that way. They're everywhere, okay? But going into this light, we're not going to have Democrat and Republican, okay? I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if we're going to have a one-party system, if we're not going to have a party system. I don't know how that's going to work. All that's going to come out eventually, or eventually I'll figure it out or something. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. But I do know from the vision I had, it felt like God hugging us, okay? It's going to be beautiful. We're going to have less stress. Everything's going to be wonderful. But it's a battle to get there. It was not supposed to be an easy transition. And Trump knew that going into this. He knew that. And more people are going to respect him when they find out exactly just how bad things really were. And they're going to thank him. He will be gone down in history as the best president ever. Okay? He will. Because he sacrifices a lot for us. And I'm sure there are times that he breaks down and says, what have I gotten myself into? And God, please give him strength, because I couldn't have done it. I'm a very strong-willed person, and I can do a lot, but I don't know if I could have carried the weight of the world on me and do what he's doing. Okay? This is not just for people of the United States. This is for people all over the world that he's doing this for, okay? Quit thinking about it's just us. It had to start off with us, and then it branches out, okay? That's the Gesara part, all right? He's got plenty of other countries on board, all right? There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good people, all right? We're only hearing about the bad people, but there are plenty of good people. A lot of good people, all right? And I hope one day meet as many of these wonderful people as I can. I would love to give out hugs. I really would. So, now that everything has failed, we've exposed all of the bad stuff. This is why certain people were chose by God, not by Trump, by God. Each of us had a part to play in this. I had a part to play. I'm sure some of you had parts to play. And everybody has done exactly what they're due. And I keep hearing him say, everybody has a part to play. And if you haven't been assigned your part yet, you probably will. But everybody has a part to play in this, because this was a battle between good and evil, between God and the devil. And I talked about this many years ago. It wasn't Republican versus Democrat. Can't stand on the sidelines, because if you're standing on the sidelines and you're not participating in this, then you have chose the side of the dark. All right? You're on the wrong side of history. You need to stand with God. All right? You just reach out, you grab Jesus' hand, and you say, I am with you, sir. I am with you, Lord. Please guide me, because this is what's going on. All right? A lot of people are not going to go down. The evil people are not going to go down easy. They're going to put up a fight, and that is what they are doing. All right? So, by taking away our freedom of speech is one way they're fighting, okay? They're trying to control us, not to get the information out there, because they want people to stay stupid to things, all right? It's not going to work, okay? They take down the internet. I'll sit out in the front yard and scream it. I will. I've already talked to neighbors. I talk to people at work. I talk to people when I'm in a line. I do it all the time. I don't care. I don't care. They will not shut me up unless they come in here, they bust down my door, and they lock me up. Until then, I will continue to talk to people. I will tell them. And that's what you should be doing too. All right? Now, I'm also hearing that they're trying to shut down the emergency broadcast system. All right? That they don't want you to get that. Now, my understanding was, now this was way months back, maybe a year ago. Eyes watering again. That when he goes to the American emergency broadcast system, that it would go through your phones, it would go through your iPads, your laptops, whatever. If you were watching HBO, it would go through HBO, Netflix, everything. They tested it a while back. Everything was working fine, and they have been told not to shut it down. So, but I'm hearing now that it would probably be a last resort. So, if it doesn't go off, then they didn't need to get to it. But if it does go off, know that it was the last resort. And what I have heard from several people is, if he says, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us, no, it's down. It's going down. All right? There's still a possibility that we will hear that. But I have been hearing from several different people online, different people that we can trust, that this is supposed to let us know, okay. I have also heard that there could possibly be another lockdown, but it would be for our safety. So if this happens, do not panic and do not be scared. It's because they're out there arresting the bad guys. All right? And like I said, they're not going to go easy. They're going to fight. So if you're out there trying to watch it or videotape it, become famous on YouTube, you may get hurt. So stay inside. Okay? I'm also hearing still that there's someone that I listen to that watches the air with the planes and stuff, and he has friends in the military that are telling him to have people stock up on their food. Now, why would people say that? Because there's a possibility we may be put in our homes. All right? If the military has taken over, which I have heard from several different people that Trump signed it, and that it's happening, they may tell us to stay inside, and you will have to. All right? So, go get you a couple of books, find you some movies to rent. Make sure you got plenty of your kibbles for your animals. If you feed your wild birds, I feed ducks the cat food, so I need to get some more. I've been hobbling. Hopefully I have a friend that'll come by and come stay with me, and I will get this friend of mine to get me some more kibbles, because I love my ducks. I love my wild ducks. I love birds. I don't know why. I was never a bird person. But ducks just have, wherever I go, I'm always around ducks now, and it is so funny, and they're so spunky. Ducks are very spunky. God love them. God love ducks. So I want to make sure that all of my animals that I tend to are taken care of, because I feel like they depend on me. Even though they eat bugs, they like to come over here and get some kibbles, and it's cold outside, so they need to fatten up. Just be ready, people. And I'm hearing that there's a possibility. I was asked by a friend that follows me if all the cities, and like I said, I don't know. I do believe in each state there will be cities. But if you are told to be prepared, and I don't want anybody to be scared, because God is telling me everything is going to be okay. He says to trust. Just trust. He wants you to pray. And this is very important, okay? Because there's a lot of people that have turned their back on God. And He loves you. And He will welcome you back with open arms. But knowing that we're going into this light, that's not good, we're not going to be living like we were with the devil, okay? A lot of these things that they have told us is normal, and that this is just the way it is because we're evolving. It's not. It's not, okay? We're going to be living in His, hold on, His light, His likeness, His likeness. We're going to be living this way. Okay, so all of this stuff that they've told you that is just normal is not normal, and that's going to change. Okay. It's really hard because it's like really fast sometimes, and it's hard to understand. Hold on. And my eye is watering so bad. TV will be different. Education. I'm just seeing something about children. He keeps saying something about children. I can't hear. This is, my eye is watering so bad. It's like it's not wanting me to hear him. It's going to be different. All of these things that they've been doing, we're going to start seeing a slowly change. They're going to clean up the water, and all this is going to take some time. They're going to clean up the water. We're going to clean up the air. There's going to be a lot of humanitarian projects that God wants you to try to be part of, as to at least get into something. It's going to be scary for some people. It's going to be a change. But you're going to be okay. Just follow the lead. Just follow the leads. Follow the leads. I think that's what I'm hearing. Okay, so do know that going into this gold light, that there's going to be a lot of changes. A lot of things that you thought were normal will not be normal anymore. It's going to shock a lot of people. And this is where I've talked about before, where people are going to be really scared. People are going to be horrified, and people will commit suicide. I want everyone on here who looks at this video to make sure that you check on your friends and family, okay, when all this goes down. I want you to reassure people they're going to be okay. Yes, this is going to be a shock to people's system, all right? A shock. Things will be done differently, all right? I do honestly believe that you will be able to go outside and gather and pray, and no one's going to say anything to you. I see kids praying in school. Things are going to be different. History will be opened up. We're going to learn what really happened. We're gonna learn about a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, phase 2 is going to be exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of information. I'm excited. I'm so excited, and I'm going to be able to help so many people with this, and I'm excited. So I feel good. I feel really good. But he's telling me everything's going to be okay. We're going to go into the phase 2, and I'm going to really, really, really be able to explain things so much better. So do know, I honestly believe that the military is taking control. This does not mean we're in like a martial law where we're going to have dictators. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, this has to happen because it has to be cleaned. It has to be pushed out and cleaned. They've exposed so many of the people. So many bad people have been exposed. I want to pray for the ones who haven't woke up yet and can see it for what it is. And I know that if you would just close your eyes and pray that God's going to speak to you. Remember, he wants to talk to you one-on-one. You do not have to go to church and have the pastor talk to the pastor and then the God talk to and go back and forth like this. You have a direct line with him. So quit listening to what people are telling you, that you have to go through your priest, that you have to go through your pastor. You have to sit in front of a cross. You have to do this. No. All you have to do is sit down, stand up, be in your car, be in the bathtub, and say, God, I'm confused. Show me. Show me. And he will. Okay? Quit believing that you have to have a direct pastor or somebody you got to go through. You do not. All right? You go to church to be with others, to celebrate, to learn, to be explained different parts of the story, and to celebrate with other people, to feel the energy of everybody. All right? But if you want to talk to God and Jesus, you don't have to go through anybody. You talk to them directly. You understand what I'm saying? You talk to them directly, okay? It does not make you a bad person that you have your own personal relationship with them, because it doesn't, okay? It just makes you a more educated person. It makes you a more self-aware person. And that's what I want everybody to do. I want you to take this veil off of your face. I want you to see what is actually going on. I want you to be able to look at something and see it for what it is. Because we've been living in a lie for so long that it is just absolutely crazy that we've believed half the stuff we have. And I mean, even at a young age, I've always questioned things. I've always questioned people. I've always questioned authority. And it wasn't because I'm a nut. It's because that is who I am. And being gifted made me even more want to question stuff. So people that have worked with me, they know I've always, but that don't make sense, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's just how I am. But just do know that I want everybody, if you haven't done it yet, please go get you at least a week's worth of food. I don't care if it's just some peanut butter and some bread. Make sure you've got kibbles for your pets. Make sure you've got a full tank of gas in your car just in case you have to go somewhere. Check on friends and family. Make sure that they've got what they need. Do I think the power will go out? I don't know. I cannot see. Now, this is just me thinking. I cannot see the people in the government, the good guys, making people sit in a home while it's freezing. I can't see it. Could streetlights go out? Possibly. I mean, we do know that there's grids and they can do different things. So I don't think that you're going to be sitting in your house having to build in your fireplace, make fires, and everybody sit around the fireplace, with blankets. I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen, that maybe streetlights won't work, maybe bridges will be up where you can't travel. I think things will shut down, And I think you won't have any choice but to stay at home and read a book. Read you a really good book. Educate yourself. Take this time, if this happens, take this time to research, do things. Take an online class. There are plenty of colleges where you can take classes and it doesn't cost you anything. Educate yourself. Wake up. Reach out to friends. Make some phone calls. Say, hey, what's going on? How you been? Don't panic. Don't get upset. There's a lot of good things going to happen, people. A lot of good things. A lot of humanitarian things are going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people that need a home. A lot of children that are going to need homes. A lot of projects that are going to come up that people can get into in other countries. Maybe you've always wanted to go somewhere, and maybe there's going to be a project there where you need to help build a clean water system for someone. Maybe build some homes. Maybe move some businesses over there. Maybe teaching in places where these people weren't getting the proper education. Do know that a lot of patents are going to be released. So the medical beds, I don't know how expensive they're going to be are at first, but they will be where people can use them, where you will be healed, not treated, healed. All right? Cancer, AIDS, all of this stuff that they've been flushing down us, trying to make us sick, so we're constantly on medications. We're not going to have to do that anymore. We're not going to live that way. We're not going to have to live sickly and be so dependent on drugs. People that are now on, cocaine, heroin, all this stuff, we're going to be able to help them. Homeless people, we're going to get them off the street. They're going to have places to live. They're going to get the help they need to function as a person. All right, there's going to be a lot of things going on. We're going to clean up things. We're going to be planting trees. We're going to be making this planet beautiful. We're going to heal it. All right, just like the Native Americans. All right, they know how to heal this planet. All right, we're going to be really desperately in need to listen to people that know what needs to be done, and we're going to do it. We're going to, all these animals that are going extinct, we're going to bring them back, because we're going to quit killing them. All right, we're going to know we don't need all this stuff. We don't need elephant ivory. Leave those elephants alone. Elephants are beautiful, loving creatures. Stop it. All right, we don't need to wear fur. Okay, we don't have to. We've got cotton and polyester, and I'm sure there's plenty of things that we could make warm clothing out of. Okay, I mean, back in the day, believe it or not, this is just going to blow people's minds here, and I was amazed myself. We used hemp for everything, and yes, that's marijuana. All right, we made paper. We wrote a lot of our stuff on paper back then. Clothes was made out of hemp. Rope. And it grows very fast. So I can see natural things like that going back to that type of way. I'm not just talking about smoking it, because I've already talked about it. There's other herbs you can take, choking again, for pain and stuff. You don't just need marijuana for that. That's just a bunch of crock of bullshit. Sorry. That's just it. They just want you to be... Golly. Woo, leave me alone. They just want you to be so you'll just go with the flow, do whatever they want you to do. You don't have to do that, all right? You don't have to do that. And I know it's hard for someone who's not suffering from cancer or something to say that. And you're like, well, Jackie, that's easy for you. You're not suffering. I know that. And I'm sorry that you are, but do know your days will not you will not have to suffer for much longer, okay? Things are coming. Good things are coming, because God is coming back, and He has never left us. We were just taught not to look for Him. We were taught to stray away from Him, and we will not be taught that anymore. We're going to be teaching people how to reach out to Him, and He's welcoming us back with open arms. He's excited. He wants you to come back to Him. He does. He's not mad at you. He forgives you. He loves you. All right? He understands that you were misled. If you are not taught about Him and the way to live, then you don't know. If no one's ever told you then you don't know. All right? So, this is what we're going to do, people. We're going to teach people. But we're not going to do it like banging on people's door and forcing it down their throats, because people are going to actually want this. And if they say, no, I don't want to hear about it, then we're going to accept that. Okay? Because eventually they will come to us, and they're going to know who to come to. But they're gonna be wanting to be part of God again, all right? Because we are all part of God. We come from that light. We are part of that light. We are all connected, okay? We are so connected. And more people are going to want to understand that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop with this because I'm not getting any more. My finger is killing me. I'm not getting any more stuff. I think I covered everything that he wants me to cover. But do know, be prepared. Okay, this is not a joke. Things are going to look rough in certain parts of the country more than others, okay? Because if you're somewhere where there's a lot of bad people, you're going to have a lot more military action. And it's just not going to be the military. You're going to see some federal agents as well, okay? They're going to work with them. Whether or not we're going to see these things on a pay-per-view or on TV, these executions or the, how can I put it, the interrogations where these people say, yes, I was part of this, yes, I did this. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, but I do know some people do need to see it, because some people will not wake up until they see it. You know who you can trust. Listen to your heart and your head, okay? And do know that many people do this not because they're crazy, because they want to help you, all right? And you don't just have to listen to me. Listen to other people, because the more information you get from different people, the better you can see things, because everybody has a different part that they play. So my part is this, but there may be somebody else who has a different part. So if you listen to me, you listen to this person and that person, this person, you see how more rounded you get of your information. And that's what I want you to do. I don't want you just to listen to me and only take what I say. I want you to listen to others, because we all have important parts, all right? And when God is ready to give you your part, you will hear it in your head. You will feel it in your heart. You will know what you need to do. And when he calls you, you will do it. And you will love it. You will love being part of this movement and helping people, because this is a wonderful time to be alive, okay? I love each and every one of you. Do know that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be back where it should be, and things will be set straight. So, before you go to bed tonight, say your prayers. Be prepared. I don't know. I remember I said the 12th, but that doesn't mean that it has to be the 12th itself. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. Just know that things are moving very fast. And if the internet goes down, I wanted to get this out there beforehand. All right? So if you need people's texts, you need to text with people, definitely get with people, find out who will give out phone numbers, things like that. Do that. Be ready. Be prepared. And don't panic. All right. I will see you later. Thank you.